Keep arms down and head back and hold on.
So last weekend, we decided to head out of town and go visit my family in Wisconsin. It's been a while, probably about a year, whatever. And most of the time when I go there, I stay with my sister. She's in a more convenient location and all of that stuff. But not all that long ago, my brother moved in a new house. It's actually just 5 minutes from my sister's house. So I decided to stay there this time. I didn't know that they lived on the edge of a nature show or something, documentary. I was like, I'm walking. Yeah, because their property backs up against a greenway. So it's trees and a ravine, and apparently there's a pond hidden down there and all of that stuff. And we were out there in the back patio for a while and then came back in the house, and all of a sudden there was this hellaciously loud noise cackling back and forth. I don't even know how else to describe it.
Was it Sasquatch?
Like, what? You
Bigfoot?
Could have been. You might have thought. But it was worse than that. I mean, I would think, well, anyway, I looked at them and they were like, what? Don't you hear that? Oh, yeah, we hear that all the time. And I'm like, what is that? And so we walked out in the backyard. Here's a pair of sandhill cranes in their backyard, squawking away at each other, jumping up and down. And we look over at the neighbors, and their son is visiting from LA, and he's got a phone, and he's got this phone playing sandhill cranes, and he's carrying on a conversation with these sandhill cranes, and they're just getting louder and louder and louder. And we walk over and say, what are you doing? And I'm probably swearing at them. I don't know, because they're getting upset and making all this noise. I'm sure they heard it. People heard it for miles away. They make one hell of an ugly noise, and he's back and forth with it. And well, what I found out, first time I'd met this guy, his name's Brian, and he's actually in the movie industry out there in LA. He's an editor for both the video and the sound end of it. So he has these special sounds and apps on his phone for finding stuff to use in movies. So this is a really good quality recording of Sandhill Cranes that he pulled up. And like you said, he's probably swearing the hell at him, but he didn't know. But they went back and forth like that forever. And then finally the Sandhill Cranes got pissed, and they waddled off into the woods, probably down to the lake where they apparently spend the night. Although one of them has a limp. One of them, peg leg as they call him, is missing a foot.
Oh, jeez.
What? So he's missing a foot.
He just walks around without a foot.
Walks around without a foot, but limps accordingly. Okay. But that was just sort of the start of it, because apparently there's a routine. They leave early in the morning and go fly off across the road or wherever they go, and they come back in the evening at about the same time and do their little dance when they come back in the yard, and then go off into the woods. But in addition to that, there was a turkey who likes to come up into my sister-in-law's garden and roll around in the dirt, because apparently that's how they clean themselves or get rid of parasites and bugs and all that stuff. They find loose dirt and roll around in it. Take a dirt bath. And so
I did not know that.
In the morning and in the evening, they have a tendency to go running out the house to shoo it away, because in the process of doing that, it's digging up the plants in the garden. So there's the turkeys. And then there's deer, as shouldn't be any surprise to anybody who's been around Wisconsin, white-tailed deer all over the place. But they come, waltzing through like it's nothing. And then one of them is a buck with the antlers coming in that looks like it could potentially a good rack on it. And we're waiting for the, fawns to come up. They should be showing up anytime now. But even red foxes, which are, normally you never see fox. right? But they come walking through the yard in the morning and in the evening on their route through the neighborhood. I was just waiting for, David Attenborough or Robert Irwin to show up and start talking to us about all these animals.
I actually saw a red fox at one of the data centers. I was
Really?
like, what? Yeah. I was like, what? At least I think
That's
it was.
an odd
I
thing.
mean, maybe it was something else that looked like it, but pretty sure it's. Yeah, it was. It's that area is really weird because just like a little over a decade ago, that was all just mostly farmland. I guess that was closer to 2 decades now, but that's all it was. So there's all this wildlife that's still there, and they're just they're pushed into the green areas that still exist.
It's kind of the way this was too, because they live in a relatively new development on the edge of the city kind of thing. And this greenway is, they were probably there before the houses were kind of thing, most of these animals. And so they've adapted, but it's a routine thing for my brother and sister-in-law to sit in their back patio in the evening and watch all the animals come in for the night right through their yard. And if they sit still, they're not bothered at all. They just walk on through at a nice leisurely pace. And so
not a big hunting community, huh?
Well, I kind of think that would be a problem considering all the houses, because the Greensway isn't that wide and there are houses on the other side of it. So, probably not a good idea to go shooting anything. But
it's weird how wildlife responds to us sometimes.
Yeah.
But it's also interesting how they adapt sometimes. Because it's still around the data centers, that area is there's deer everywhere. I see deer a lot. And they seem to never get hit. And it's it's almost like they've evolved to really understand traffic.
Yeah.
And because they're really maybe they're starting to dwindle, but for the last 10 years or so, there's just been deer. I'm driving down the road and there's just deer in amongst the data center, and this isn't really wildlife area, but okay, there's deer all there. You'd think they'd be hit all the time, but no, doesn't seem to be the case. It's weird. It's put them around more streets and they understand. Oh wait, yeah, don't go there, or be careful. I don't know.
I mean, they do adapt. They know where their food source is. At the amusement park, the squirrels knew exactly where the frozen Snicker bar ice cream was because all the time.
So do I.
I would see squirrels with a frozen Snicker bar ice cream, all the time, sitting on a fence eating an ice cream bar. And it was always a Snickers one. I asked the food people one time, where do you guys keep those things? It's we keep them locked up in the freezers. So how do the squirrels always get a hold of them? And they're like, I don't know. They must be getting them out of the trash or something. I'm like, they're not getting them out of the trash. Those away? This is a frozen. Right. No one's throwing them away. So that's not the case.
Highly suspicious.
That's not the case.
Somebody's feeding.
It is. Yes.
Well,
LP is watching them.
Care. Over on my sister's side of things, there is a whole group of turkeys that just takes over the road, and everybody just stops. Everybody in the neighborhood knows they're there, but they just saunter across the road, and sometimes they stop right in the middle of it and stand there and stare at you. You thought you were going to come through this intersection, but we're here now.
Oh, I am. Trust me.
Thanksgiving is coming early.
My 5,000-pound truck definitely outweighs your little 20-pound butterball butts trying to scoot across that road. You're one stuffing away from dinner right now. Let's go. Why is this? What is this called? This is called tenderized. You tenderized it? It's yeah, kind of. Mechanically tenderized.
Kind of. Oh, that makes me think of something I remember seeing, or when was it? Years ago. Somebody came up with a cookbook. What do they call it? The Redneck Radiator. No, something or other cookbook. And it was filled with recipes that for cooking food on your car engine when you were driving around. The different places wrap it in aluminum foil and I don't know, set it on this part and set this on this part, drive for 30 miles at 20 miles an hour, whatever. It was the most hysterical thing, but they legitimate. The guy claims that he's actually tested these and done this sort of thing. So, if you're hungry on the road, you don't need an oven. You just got your car engine.
Right?
Did they say to use foil, or did they just set it on the engine?
No, you wrapped it in aluminum foil or something like that.
If you wrap it in foil, what?
Yeah. But he had, like I said, speed and length of distance instead of temperature and time.
That's awesome.
That's what happens if you get salmonella from that. It's like, oh, you have a misfire. That's what you got. It's about 30 degrees colder. That's undercooked at that point. Always make sure your engine's working properly before you cook your food on it.
That would make a difference. Well, this is Side Friction Podcast. It's episode 130 for May 30th, 2026. I'm Bob.
I'm Greg.
I'm Ryan the Ride Mechanic.
Do you guys like chicken nuggets from McDonald's?
No, I prefer Wendy's.
I prefer them when they were cheap. When was that?
Yeah, a while ago.
Not this decade.
I know. You're showing your age. When chicken nuggets used to be cheap.
That was like, what, 1990?
Yeah. Back when Taco Bell was still cheap, too.
Oh, God. Oh, my God. Taco Bell. Like, there's dine-in restaurants cheaper than Taco Bell.
You just had to bring up Taco Bell.
Well, welcome to Side Friction. This is where the real story is.
So, Bob, you got a thing for Taco Bell, huh?
No, I mean, I like Taco Bell, but oh my God, like, anytime I go to Taco Bell to get enough to fill me up, it's like $25. I'm like, I could go get a steak at a restaurant.
Yeah.
And sometimes the drive-through takes as long as it would take me to get a steak.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So why the hell am I not going to get a steak?
She asked me, she says, oh, can you get me 2 of these quesadillas and this drink? And I'm like, okay. So it was a meal deal type thing. So I'm like, the 2 quesadillas and a drink. And okay. And then I didn't quite hear the price. I'm like, okay, so
yes, you did.
No, I didn't. I mean, my hearing's bad. I have to wear hearing aids and stuff. So I pulled around and they were like, it was like $15. And I was like, oh, no, I didn't want 2 of those meals. I just wanted the 2 quesadillas. And they're like, yeah, that's the meal you got.
Yeah,
and I'm like, 2 quesadillas and this drink? I'm like, she's like, yeah. I'm like, and that was like $15. I'm like, okay, I hand the card. I look over at my daughter. I'm like, is this normal? And she's like, yeah, that's how much it normally costs. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Why are we paying for this?
I know. It's insane.
Holy crap.
It really is. We just went on a rabbit trail even before we started the show.
Chicken nuggets.
Chicken nuggets. That's where I was going.
Chicken nuggets and Millie.
Yeah, Millie. People are ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
So he's an influencer, right? He has like millions of followers. Yes. So this guy, social media presence, goes to Cedar Point. And he gets this challenge like, hey, why don't you eat some chicken nuggets while you're on Millennium Force? And he created a video of showing the entire process of him putting them in his pants and then getting on the ride and then eating them on the ride. Complete with sweet and sour sauce. He got himself up into the air. He got himself a lifetime ban from Six Flags Parks. So, thank you. I'm glad to hear that.
Yes.
But yeah. For those of you who don't know, like it's a really bad idea to eat things on the ride. Like, that is a really bad idea. And people say, "Oh, what's the big deal?" You know, it's who cares? Well, the problem is that you could choke, and then the time where people would respond to you for, you know, having legitimate a medical emergency is now delayed by who knows 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes, 7 minutes. You don't know. Was there a breakdown on that particular cycle? And you could literally choke to death. So I completely understand the response. They're like, not only no, but the company was like, yeah, you don't come back to our parks anymore, because that's not the behavior they want to entertain. They also set the standard. They set the precedence. If you do this on our rides, we're going to ban you from the park.
Yeah. He actually did respond as well to a news outlet, and he's like, I didn't know it'd be bad. Like, you had to sneak them on the ride.
Yeah.
There's a reason for that. Like, right off the bat, you know. But he did say that they Six Flags actually called, and they basically worked out an agreement, because he said they initially wanted to press charges, and he said they worked together and came up with the lifetime ban, I guess, from what he said. Which I am kind of shocked that they didn't press charges if they could have. But that's wow.
Yeah, but this is, well, who knows how often something like this has been responded to in the past, but it's like the first time I've heard of them really banning somebody for a lifetime for doing this kind of thing in a way that certainly got the media attention, because it was really hard to find any other story but this one when we were looking for this. So
yeah. And I guess that's the thing, is like, you know, people want influencers to spread the word about things. Thank you. He spread the word about don't be stupid. Like,
yeah, hopefully it will have a good effect, even in terms of anybody else trying stunts like that.
And in the video, like when I was watching the video, I actually thought, like, as they crested the top of the hill, it actually, to me, looked like he actually choked. Like, he kind of, like, I don't know, it looked like it kind of like went down his throat weird, and he ended up clearing it. But like initially for like a second or two, it kind of looked like he was struggling.
Yeah, I think that was the whole, like, so obviously the influencer is not used to riding on rides, not used to riding on really big rides like Millennium Force. And just like anybody, you're going to get that adrenaline spike, where the point where you want to scream or do something like that when you go down that drop. And that was like, I'm in the middle of chewing and I can't do any of that.
Yeah.
And there's kind of some panic that set in right there, you know, like, what do I do?
Yeah, that's probably exactly what was going on. He's like, yeah. Well, I am glad that it got coverage, that he got banned and everything. But it's you know, I don't know. I rarely go to YouTube comments, because usually it's not a good place to be. But I actually scrolled down some of the comments, and I was like, I am just shocked at how many people were just like, that was so great, blah, blah. Like, they're just like, I'm like, oh my God, this world.
Yeah.
I can't believe
it's the same thing if people film themselves playing in traffic. People are going to be, that's awesome. Go do it again.
Yeah.
You know?
Or eating Tide Pods.
Or eating Tide Pods. Oh, man.
That's still, like, I still am just...
I thought when that first came out, I was going to learn something, you know? Oh, I didn't know those were all natural biodegradable.
Right, that's exactly what I thought. Exactly what I thought.
I thought I was going to learn something really cool. And then it's like, no, those are potent, hazardous chemicals. I'm like, oh, they are just really stupid then. Okay. That is awesome.
Yeah. It's insane that was a thing. I screwed up the order. I gotta make a quick adjustment.
Okay.
No problem.
Sorry. So Hagrid's, I think it was last year, got Express Pass for the ride, and it hadn't been going well. Apparently, the lines were just out of control for the standby lines. Some people were saying even 6 hours on some days.
Oh, geez.
They said it was just ridiculous, and yeah, it was just a really bad thing. But Universal has now announced. Well, they've said, it wasn't like a fanfare announcement, but they are going to discontinue Hagrid's for Express Pass on July 1st, 2026. So I'm glad that they listened. They adjusted accordingly. Hopefully this isn't... Some people feel like this is an adjustment to sell one-time passes that are really expensive. But I don't know. I'm going to try to have faith and believe that they're actually just listening and adjusting appropriately. But the thing that kind of revealed itself to me in this announcement is the comment sections on Reddit and I think there was a YouTube video about it that I was reading some comments on, and the X comments, the comments on X. But basically, they're like little cosms of class warfare. And it really sometimes got really vehement, where it was like people that were cheering for it being discontinued were being attacked by people that were this is ridiculous, and why are they getting rid of it, and literally saying things if you can't afford it, then that's your problem. It's not, this has always been a thing, but I've never seen comments follow this type of a thing. And it's I don't really understand it. For me, it's I feel like most people are kind of struggling right now, but I don't know. I feel like classism is really coming to parks now. And it's okay, well, yeah, you can come to the park, but for you to really have a good day, you have to do all these upcharges, to the point where it's almost unbearable. And this has kind of been a thing with Cedar Point for a long time, is it's so unbearable without Fastlane or Canada's Wonderland. People say all the time, don't go to Canada's Wonderland unless you get Fastlane. Well, then that's really what's the price of entry to the park then? It's it's both of those things, right? Because that becomes a mandatory thing. And it's kind of crazy at how we're getting into this. We kind of always saw that as yeah, that's the game they play, but now it's really, really kind of separating people. And I was completely floored by seeing that. I don't know if you guys picked up on any of that, if you read anything, but
this is just one of those things. So I'm instantly thinking of next week. Next week we go to Disneyland for 4 days, and it's the same thing. As soon as we got our tickets for Disneyland, we had to purchase the Genie Pass and all the other stuff. I mean, you got to tag on all that stuff, and it raises up the cost to go there. And it's just well, it's you're going to spend it one way or another, because, well, if you don't buy any of those passes to get on stuff quickly, it's going to take a lot more time, and then you're going to have to elongate your trip. So you want a longer trip, you're going to spend it in, hotel, airfare, whatever it might be, to elongate your trip, or you're going to spend it up front with the Genie Pass.
Yeah. And let me be clear. I'm not this is not an attack on people that are buying Fastlane passes or any of that stuff. I understand it, and I'm not faulting you for using the system that's there. I'm saying that there's a problem with the system, but what you were explaining, Ryan, it's that. Okay, so you basically are raising the floor. So you have people that are going to Disney they're spending a ton of money and they're getting on 3 rides in a day. And it's like they almost are paying for the right to be a peasant. You know, because you literally like, I have to pay all this money to go into this park. And I've saved for a really long time because Disney is like that. It's ridiculous. You can't afford to just go. You've saved for all of this time. You finally have it. You're so excited. And you get to the park and it's like, oh, yeah, well, here's the deal. You can really only, you know, experience a couple things unless you double your price, you know. And you can't do that. You know, most people can't do that. So now what happens is you start, those people that were doing that start fading away. And now all of a sudden you're stuck with like, well, why am I buying Fastlane? There's nobody in the standby line because they've quit going. And guess what happens then? Oh, well, you know, we raise the price, you know, it's here. Oh, it's all one thing. And then all of a sudden you introduce another Fastlane again. And you just keep this cycle going until you drain everybody of their money.
Yep. I think I'm now in favor of just 100% across the board. Just get rid of all of it and go back to the, you know, way back when and just say, there's a line, go stand in it.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
And I saw that in action this past Tuesday because that's when I came home from Wisconsin. And I had left there early enough that I was in the Sandusky area at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So I thought, well, what the heck? I've got the pass. I stopped into Cedar Point thinking Tuesday, right after the holiday, it's probably not going to be very full. Well, there were probably about 3,000 buses there. School kids.
Wow.
I mean, I swear that their bus parking lot, which is big, was full because I saw buses parked in places where buses aren't normally parked. You know, it's not in a lane for buses. So I thought, oh crap. Well, there goes that theory about, you know, getting on a bunch of rides. And then I looked at the wait times and it was 120 minutes for Valraven. And it was pretty much always between 75 and 90 minutes to get on Steel Vengeance. Surprisingly, Siren's Curse was only listed at 45 minutes. I got in that line and it was considerably less than that, probably 35 minutes to get through. But I'm standing there in this line looking over at the fast lane, and that line is almost completely full. So if those people had been shuffled over into the regular line with everybody, I would bet that the whole wait then would have been even less time for everyone.
Yeah, it's because
you know, if the fast lane is that full all the way back to the start of the fast lane, how much time are you really saving when the main line wasn't that bad? And I did make a comment to friends on Discord about, you know, why is Top Thrill 2 only a 30-minute wait? Guess, you know, well, it was only a 30-minute wait because it had just reopened after being down.
Oh.
And it wasn't long before it was a 90-minute wait.
Oh, geez.
So,
that'll
do it. I got on Siren's Curse and I got on Maverick, but that was about an hour's wait in line when it was supposed to only be 45 minutes. But that was because it broke down twice.
Wait, whoa. Wait, you got on Maverick through 2 breakdowns in an hour? How?
Yeah. Because believe it or not, on both of those rides, they were running all trains and everybody was hustling. They were actually trying to have good ops. Okay. And the only coaster that wasn't operating was Corkscrew.
Okay.
It turned 50 and it's like, I'm out.
Fine. I don't care about Corkscrew. That's a pain machine.
The Blue Pizza Hut.
I guess operationally, you know, they were doing okay. I mean, I still wouldn't have stood in line for Valraven for more than 10 minutes, but you know,
agreed.
but there were just so many teenagers all over the place, not being ill-mannered or bad behaved really, but they were getting screwed in a way because of how all of these people were going, had the fast lane passes, but they, as school kids coming in on a field trip or whatever, weren't going to be buying those passes. Right. So they weren't getting anywhere near the number of rides in that day that they probably thought they were going to. But
so here's an interesting thought. You'd said about 30 minutes at Siren's Curse, and you said the fast lane was full. And honestly, while you were talking about that, in my mind, I'm thinking they must have been playing with the ratio for some. Like, it sounds like the ratio was off from normal.
It must have been, because the regular line was not much longer than the fast lane.
Which makes me wonder, did they do that because of the school trips?
Maybe.
I mean,
could have been.
I don't know. But it's just like my mind was going on that whole, like, that something's wrong with that ratio. Why would they do that? And then you gave me a plausible explanation. So
yeah, it was just a really weird day, even by Cedar Point standards, in terms of the wait times and the way the crowds were, and it was just strange. But I mean, granted, I only got on 2 rides the whole afternoon.
That's Cedar Point.
So,
but
I don't know how the operations were on everything else that were the ones where they're posting 90 and 100 and 120 minute waits. Yeah. But I was especially surprised to see people hustling on Maverick, because that's, but they were running all the trains. I mean, they were stacking them,
well, they have to. That's like, that's one of those things where you have to have stack to
you do
be able to load the station properly.
But I've also been there when they haven't had all the trains. And so you don't have things stacking up, and you're like, why? The line is 2 hours long and you're not running all the trains. But
so you're saying,
sitting there grinning, I know.
But you're saying that all of the coasters,
I've got experience with that.
Yeah.
All of the coasters except Corkscrew were open.
Yeah.
That's also a weird day for Cedar Point.
Exactly. I was surprised.
I could vouch for that one also.
Yeah, now, I was only there
Ryan knows that very well.
5 hours.
Yeah.
I wasn't there for the
first article about the chicken nugget guy. I'm like, you mean that ride was open? What?
They shut it down after he was on it.
Right.
Yeah. Somebody's been eating on this ride. We got to shut it down. Yeah. Well, the other thing too, I swear to God, the prices are higher than ever, and the quality of the food is lower than the ever. What was it now like?
Well, I honestly think the Six Flags has really been Six Flags as in the merged company, not Six Flags prior merger. But I think Six Flags has improved the quality of food. But I don't know that they've improved it. Like, I don't know if the quality is improved in the ratio that the price has increased.
Right. And where else? The other thought that I had on this was, okay, at the legacy Six Flags parks, what they've been doing is raising the quality of the food that was available there. But at the legacy Cedar Fair parks, what I've seen in Cedar Point in particular is it's not as good as it used to be. Even the better places to go eat, like the, what do they call it? The Country Market, or the one that's backed by Maverick and all that stuff. When I got there, it was, I went to Backbeat Barbecue this time, and I had pulled pork and mac and cheese, and the mac and cheese was as dry as it could possibly be, and I don't think there was any cheese in it. None that I could taste.
Ooh.
It just was this nasty gooey stuff.
That was our favorite place too.
It is.
Yeah. It was $22 for that. For pulled pork, no bun, just the pulled pork slopped on the plate, and mac and cheese, $22.
I do kind of think this was a thing that happened, and a lot of people say I'm full of it, but because they didn't I think everybody remembers how horrible this place was at the end of it. But Media Day for Twisted Timbers, there was 2 things they were announcing at that Media Day. It was Twisted Timbers, and it was the I think it was Mac Bowl. I think that's what the restaurant was called. And it was like mac and cheese, gourmet mac and cheese, where you got mac and cheese, but you could top it with like all kinds of different meats and stuff, like really good stuff. But like they had the previews set up there where like, you know, you could actually get it. That was part of being there for media day. And like, I love that day, just riding Twisted Timbers over and over again and eating mac and cheese. It was a glorious day. But that whole year, I never ate anywhere other than that place because that was the best freaking mac and cheese I've ever had in my life. I mean, so incredibly good for just a mac and cheese, you know? And the following year, I went back and I was like, something's different. It's like, it was still good. But then by the end of the year, I was like, I don't want this anymore. And obviously, most people know that I knew somebody that worked at the parks. And I was told that it was, they switched to like frozen mac and cheese. It was, everything came in like pouches rather than them making it on site.
Packages, yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, the quality just kept going. And then all of a sudden, like that restaurant closed down because nobody was going to it anymore.
Yeah.
And, you know, I do kind of wonder if the same thing might be cycling through again, because I did, whenever Jungle X opened, that restaurant that opened there had this, I think it was like a prime rib, like, oh my God, like just one of the best meals I've had. It was so good. And then the following year, it was still really good, but just not quite the same. And like, I'm kind of wondering is like, okay, well, is it got to be worse? You know, like I think they like slowly start doing that. And, you know, it's like, you know, boiling the frog until the frog says, this sucks.
Right. All right. We're not jumping out. We're just saying this sucks.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
No, I think that's definitely happening with the new restaurant they put into the boardwalk at Cedar Point. Because the first year it was great and you got a decent portion for the money and all of that stuff. And I'm not sold on the idea that the bigger the portion, the better the meal, the better the value on the meal. Because then especially at a park, you can't take it with you. You end up throwing stuff away. Yeah. But they had all that right. The food was really tasty. The price wasn't out of line for what it was. You know, you're going to pay a little more for some nice shrimp or something like that. But the last time I ate there at the end of the season last year, you hardly had anything on the plate. It didn't have anywhere near the amount of flavor, and yet the price was higher.
Yeah.
And this year they seem to have continued that trend, even with Backbeat Barbecue, which used to be kind of a given that I'd eat there one of my meals or something like that. But I'm not so sure anymore. I wish you could bring my own food in.
You mean like they used to do? Like, you know, like really, we need to go back to Knoebels.
Like you can do at Kennywood and Knoebels.
Can you still
there
bring
are so
food
many
in?
Parks that we just go out to eat, you know. We leave the park and go eat lunch. Now, I know a lot of people are like, well, you lose so much time in the park. I agree. You do. Typically, we reserve this for parks where we've been there. You know, we've spent a bunch of time there already. Like if we're going to a park for the first time, yes, we're going to eat in the park. We're going to do that to not lose that time.
Right.
But like parks that are like Adventureland and Worlds of Fun, which are my two closest parks, it's like, yeah, we're going out to like a Panda Express or McDonald's or something like that.
How far from the park do you have to go to get to a place though?
So
Cedar Point
Adventureland,
yeah,
Adventureland is directly across the street. There's a McDonald's. Like we could walk there if we wanted to. Worlds of Fun, you're going to drive about 10 to 15 minutes away from the park.
Yeah.
To go to a restaurant over there. But, you know, I look at that as I get in the truck. It's a nice air conditioned ride. We go to a place where it's quiet. You can get a refill on your drink.
You don't have to wait for 25 minutes.
Right. You don't have to wait for 25 minutes to get that cold, hard food that's just, prison slopped onto a tray for you. It's like, there you go.
Yeah.
What's your prisoner number? I mean, your season pass number? What is it?
Well, yeah, I can see that. Like even Kennywood, you go out the gate and you're not too far away from being walking distance to a McDonald's and a Popeyes. But Cedar Point, they kind of got you by the balls.
Yeah, they do.
They're out on that peninsula, and the park is so huge. Just leaving the park and getting to your car can take 25 minutes, let alone driving off
across the causeway.
Yeah. Oh, they've changed some things.
There's a roundabout.
That's new since I was last there.
We didn't talk about that, did we? I remember seeing it, but I don't think we did talk about that.
Which the roundabout is an improvement over what they had for that intersection. That intersection
was terrible.
Nasty.
It was so weird. Like this, you can always go straight, but you can't. What was it? What One Direction? I don't know. It was just so weird.
Oh, it was just weird. But the bridge, the one where if you went more than 5 miles an hour over the bridge, you would get launched.
Yes, the ride before the ride.
It's been rebuilt and asphalted and everything. It's much smoother now. You don't do that.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Yeah, that was that was your warm up for the coast.
That was.
As long as you didn't
especially
break
if
your
you
axle.
hated the suspension in your car. Like,
that's
here
it.
We go.
Yeah,
but
that's been fixed.
Or if your car has very little remaining suspension.
Yeah, there's that too.
That, yeah.
Whatever, the engines have fallen out on that hill. But yeah, it's not like that anymore. You could, if you hit it with some speed, you could launch your car, but it's not like it was. It's all smooth and flat across the top.
That sucks. Impressive.
Yeah.
Sucky. And I want to bounce my way to Cedar Point.
Absolutely. Although it was pretty funny at the roundabout though, because you can tell that for the most part, we here in America aren't used to roundabouts. There are so many people that
can give you
no clue what they were doing on that roundabout.
When I wrecked my Suzuki Kazashi, that's what happened. The guy just didn't understand the whole yield. He just went. I was in a roundabout.
The one they put in is like the double lane one.
Yeah.
Where if you stay to the right if you're getting off on the next one, but you go to the left if you're going around further. And coming from the opposite direction I normally do, I had to go around all the way to get to the causeway one. And the person in front of me didn't know whether to fish or cut bait, and they started going right for the divider between the first turn off and to keep going around. And like, are you crazy? Are you really going to do this and go straight into it? And they stopped so that they're blocking both lanes.
Oh my God.
And then decided to go off to the right. They weren't even going to Cedar Point.
I can't even tell you the number of swear words I have said in the roundabouts that I have to drive through. On the way to work, I drive through 4 roundabouts.
Uh-huh.
They are a thing of beauty when people do what they're supposed to do. They're amazing. But then there's that one idiot that is just like,
and he's always right in front of you, isn't he?
Or coming. I've had people like, I mean, I get that you're being a good Samaritan, but like, if you're in the roundabout, if you're in the circle, you don't stop. That's your number. The number one thing is you don't stop when you're in that circle.
That's the whole point.
And this guy's coming around, and I'm slowing down so that I can merge right in between and behind him. And he just decides, well, he's going to be nice and let me out.
Oh, geez. That's not how that works.
No, don't be nice in ways that are unexpected because you cause accidents that way.
Just everything around us halted. Everybody stopped. And now I'm like, go. Like,
yeah.
Because the second I pull out, if he decides to go, it's my fault.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, so, dude, go. Just go. No, he's just in there. I'm like, dude, please. It just, it's just unreal. And then, like, people coming up to enter, and it's like, okay, you can clearly see like that person's going straight. You can enter, and nope, stop, brake lights, and it's just like chain reaction. Everybody slamming their brakes on. It's like,
yep. and like you say, when everybody knows what they're doing, it's a thing of beauty.
Yeah.
And if you're doing it right, the amount of accidents at that intersection go way down. But then you have that one person who can't figure it out. Oh,
I don't know if the accidents actually go down, but
statistically they do.
I thought it was the fatal accidents plummet.
Oh.
Because the thing is, it removes the possibility of T-boning. So, like, any accident that happens in a roundabout scenario is almost like sideswiping.
Yeah.
Because everybody's going in the same direction. It's just merging. So you're not T-boning. You're not having, like, there's no, like, dead stopping. I mean, even if somebody hits the brakes, that's, like, still gonna, it's still not a full dead stop because you kind of push a little bit. Like, T-boning a car.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. If this is true, from the city of Bristol, Virginia, a 37% reduction in overall collisions, a 75% reduction in injury collisions, a 90% reduction in fatal collisions.
Okay, so there you go.
What's the reduction in people knowing what they're doing?
No, that goes up. That goes way up.
we got a couple of them out. We got a bunch of them out here in Nebraska, and we get the they're the nice drivers,
Yeah,
where they pull up and they like, oh, I think someone else is going to enter it on the other side. I should slow down and stop. It's like,
yeah,
no. Multiple cars can be in that at the same time. As long as your car fits, you could be in there. You're like, no, I think that other person's gonna. It's like, oh my gosh, we're gonna be here
even
forever.
Semi trucks can be in there. I've seen that.
Yes.
Even small ones.
I also love semi trucks in the one roundabout. They're just like, I'm not doing that circle thing. They just drive right over the center.
Depends on the size of the roundabout, I guess.
Yeah,
it's
a smaller round. So the road is actually like trucks are local traffic only. So you don't see them very often, but I've seen once or twice I've seen one and they're just like, no.
Before I got married, they're trying to do some of these. They put one in this like downtown area and they called it a trial device. Well, what it was essentially they built a roundabout out of like some parking stop bumpers, those like cement cone bumpers that you put up.
Yeah.
They built those and it was like big enough for a cone to sit in the middle of it. And it was just like, what is that? Like, it's a roundabout. It's like, I can't even make a U-turn tight enough to go around that roundabout. Like, I don't know what you guys are trying to do here. But then their city is like, well, these things don't work. It's like, because you're an effing idiot. That's why.
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to try a roundabout. You need to build a effing roundabout.
Yeah. It's
across
the ones that I drive through are like, they're on the smaller side, but like they still work. But the ones that are bigger, like the bigger, oh my God, those are beautiful. Cause just like, if you screw it up, you can just keep circling.
Just keep going.
Oh yeah. Just keep going around.
So
there was one in the Netherlands. It was a weird one because they're like normal roundabouts out there, except for this one. And the guys warned me about it close to my hotel.
Was it
They're
square?
Like, this is the only one in the entire area. You can stop on the inside.
What?
And I was like, what? So you enter into the roundabout like normal, right? But then when you go out, there's lights and stuff. There's actual traffic control to exit the roundabout.
Huh.
The weirdest thing. Even the locals around the area are like, yeah, that's dumb. We don't know why that is, but it's the only one like it. So
weird.
I actually think I know where you. I actually think I was like. I think I stayed near that.
You probably. I mean, if anywhere in the area.
I do remember that because I remember being so confused because I looked at him like that's a roundabout, but why are there traffic lights? I was so confused by it. Like,
yeah.
I didn't go through it. It was like one of those things where like I was near it.
Yeah, you saw it.
And I was like, what? I don't understand a roundabout. So maybe that's what it was. That's weird.
Yeah. It was a weird one. I was warned about that up front.
Wow. Well, in Texas, they probably have roundabouts too.
Yeah.
I actually do remember
bigger than any place else.
I remember when Legoland, California came to East Coaster. Like this was pre-building, and he was talking about they were going to build the roundabout, and he was like joking because he was actually he was from Britain, from somewhere, and he's like I know you don't have them over here. We don't know what'll happen. We'll just see. It'll be a lot of fun.
So that's great.
Maybe this will also have a roundabout. Universal Kids in where it's Frisco, Texas. They are opening this summer, and it's kind of a thing because you can already get your tickets. They're on sale.
Nice.
So you they have they say what date actually? I mean, I'm sure we could figure it out by like seeing when I can buy a ticket.
July 1st.
I know the July 1st. That's right around the corner.
Yeah, Universal is launching Universal Kids Resort, 20-acre theme park in Frisco, Texas, opening on July 1st, 2026.
You can
It's
buy
a nice looking little park.
Yeah.
You can buy an annual pass.
I need to rent a kid.
$129.
That's I wouldn't make that too public. That sounds wrong,
sorry.
but-
I know.
Yeah.
I'll take my niece and nephew.
Just become a Universal Pass holder. Their forums
That's
have borrow a child.
So, are they going to have fast lanes?
I don't know.
Ooh,
Here's
that's
the
a
weird
good question.
thing. The annual pass is a silver pass, but there's no other
No gold
passes. So there's no gold pass. Which that has
Give
to
it
mean
time.
I give the park a year. Give
Yeah.
it a year before they put in the SpongeBob's Fast and the Furious Gary Snail Drift or something like that.
that's when the gold pass comes out.
That's it.
Right? That's when the next level pass will be introduced. It'll be a whole separate park by itself. just one ride. Just one ride.
One day ticket is only $55. Which, I mean,
That's the hook. That's the hook.
well, yeah, that's true.
For
First
now.
time's always free, right?
There must be Express Pass then, right?
Get people coming to it. Then next year it'll be $65, and the year after that it'll be $125.
That was a jump.
It'll just increase exponentially.
I wonder, like, I know there's like, we can see how many attractions there are and everything, but like, I wonder how, if you went there, how long of the day would you spend? Like, would you spend all day there, or would you reach that point where it's like, I've been on everything?
Depends on if the kids that you're with are in diapers or not.
Yeah, that's it.
In other words, how fast you can move through the park with the kids that you have with you.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Well, and you have kids that are scared to go on stuff where it's like, oh no, we got to convince that kid for an hour and a half first to get on that little tiny ride. Because like that's a lot of time parents spend just convincing kids to get on rides.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen that a lot at Disneyland. Disneyland, lots of little kids and parents just sitting there trying to convince their kids to get on the rides. And I'm just like, aw, you're doing it wrong. You just tell them to get on. This is how pliable kids' minds are. It's amazing. Kids are like, both of my kids, like, I'm scared to go on that. And you know how we reacted? We said, no, you're not. And we got on the ride.
Perfect.
That was simple.
Make up their minds for them.
No, you're not. Get on the ride.
I will never
out fine.
forget one of my favorite stories from we went to Great Wolf Lodge, and Piper was pretty good about doing everything, or like all the slides and everything. They were both really little, but LJ was scared to death of the big ride. Like, not to death. Like, he was just like, I'm not going on. I don't want to do that. I want to, like, just in that, like, you know, it's too big. It's too big. It's too big. And I remember my sister, like, one point just, like, kind of pushed him down the slide. And my other sister was at the bottom. And she's like, he got to the bottom and he stood up. And he, like, had this pouty face. And he went, Mommy pushed me down the slide, but I kind of liked it. I'm going to go ride it again.
And that was the start of it all.
Yes. But
Right?
like the difference in kids, though, if you would have done that to Piper, she would have never done another water slide in her life. Like that would have been the end of it.
Yeah.
But like you, like knowing your kids, you know. I was like, he always was that. And I think the difference, I've noticed the difference is there's kind of like, I think some kids have a memory that's more before, like focuses more on the before and then focuses more on the after. Like my nephew, he will be really nervous about everything. And like, take for instance a sky coaster. Like when you're first time you you go on a sky coaster and they're winching you up that pole, I don't care who you are, you're freaking out. Like your brain is just wanting to explode.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who you are. Your first time, you know, and then they like you drop and your body just goes, oh my God, and then it's just the best thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And I think the thing is some kids walk away from that whole scenario and they remember that fun part. And then some kids will walk away and they remember that anxiety going up, being winched up the pole. And I think that's where the difference is, because it's just like, that's where they remember it the most. Like, it's like, oh no, I don't ever want to feel that anxiety of being winched up that pole again. When in reality, you probably wouldn't have the same anxiety level, but that's, in your mind, you can't think of that. Frontal lobe has come back in the news a little bit. Uh-huh. This was a while ago. We talked about this coaster that appeared in a Swedish design studio. They just built a roller coaster through their office, and I found this. It was a post. I think it was a post on Reddit. I'll have to find that and add it to the rundown. But somebody had gone over there, a designer had gone over there, and like he was basically networking, talking with people, and like he ran into somebody like they were just talking. He's like, yeah, I'm here. I'm going to make my 300th coaster. I forget what it was, but one of the coasters in the area. And he's like, oh, you like coasters? He's like, I know people that work over at this studio that had it, and like they hooked it up, so he actually got to go get the credit from Frontal Lobe. But then somebody else mentioned, you're actually going to be able to buy the Frontal Lobe, the home version, I guess, for 250,000 pounds. I don't know what that
euros.
You're right.
Yeah.
So is that close to 300,000 US?
Yeah, let's look that up.
But it is measurements 3.5 meters high.
It's darn close to $300,000.
Yeah.
So
I like how the little cart, like the piece you sit in, just looks like a trash can that's been modified.
Yeah, just squashed a little
like
bit.
Stainless steel trash can you'd find in a kitchen or something. It looks like that modified.
But it looks, well, the whole thing looks so weird. Well, if you remember when we talked about it before, we used that for the cover.
Yeah.
For the episode. And I didn't do anything with it. It was just a picture of it. And Stephanie thought I had created that was totally made up.
I do remember that.
Because it looks so bizarre to see this roller coaster going through an office.
It does. It really did.
It's like, nope, that's just a real picture. I didn't do a thing but put the title on it. Didn't need anything more.
Which is pretty impressive.
If I could have one of these, I would have one of these.
That was episode 55 for anybody that's curious.
Yeah, wants to go back and but I don't happen to have a spare $300,000 plus whatever it would cost to have it shipped from wherever this is going to come from.
Yeah.
Where is it coming from?
Where is it? Was it like Sweden?
Well, no. Well, it's made in China. It's dreamed in Stockholm, made in China.
Yeah, right. The company's in Stockholm.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know if it would be shipping from China or. I mean, I would imagine they would just drop ship, right? I couldn't imagine them shipping.
I would see where you would ship something from China to Sweden and back to the U.S.
Right.
Yeah, and do they offer white glove installation, or do you just have to?
There you go.
Put it together yourself.
Do you have to do all the
house and set it up,
the paperwork and everything too?
Yeah. Oh God.
We will come to your house for the erection. It's going to be great.
Okay. Here
Everyone
we go.
could use what?
Honestly, though, the $300,000
roller coaster at their house.
$300,000 probably isn't that much. Thinking about it, because like a little dipper is like what, 600,000, isn't it? $1 million?
Not $1 million, no.
No,
they're expensive.
600,000.
I mean, right? People really underestimate, especially like fair rides and stuff. Not even the ones that come on a trailer, just the ones that are like modular and mobile.
Yeah,
people really underestimate how expensive rides are. They were like,
yeah,
you could be in good condition if you could find a used, I'm going to say something like a scrambler in good condition for like 300,000.
Yeah.
It's like, stuff's expensive out there.
Yes. And it's getting more and more
especially
expensive.
If you're buying a scrambler. I mean, this worked great. Yeah, back in the 70s when it was made. As long as it's up to all of its service bulletins and stuff, it's fine. Eli Bridge knows what they're doing.
It's funny, they don't make Ferris wheels anymore, do they?
They do.
Do they?
I think they do.
I don't know. Maybe they still do.
Let's see. Who was that? Well, for sure they're making the Ferris wheel that goes inside of Scheels department stores.
Oh, what?
Because
What
that's
department
made
stores?
by Scheels, Scheels, Scheels department stores.
Don't know them.
They're like outdoors, sporting goods type places.
Okay.
A fair number of them have a Ferris wheel. It's a 60-foot Ferris wheel on the inside of them. And I found out when I did my video on Ferris wheels that particular model built by Eli Bridge is specifically for Scheels. They only have that one model just for Scheels. So
and
that was interesting.
I do stand corrected. They do have wheels listed on their website.
On their website, yep.
They have actually a lot of different wheels listed on their website. I think they are most known for their scrambler, though.
Probably. Oh yeah.
And most people don't even know. Most people don't even know that they actually were a bridge company at one point.
Yeah.
Why do they call it Eli Bridge? Because they built bridges.
Yeah.
I love these original manuals. Well, I should say the original manual. It's still all in black and white, and it just shows the guy in coveralls, like an old timey looking guy in coveralls, pulling the pieces out of the trailer, and they got the two guys that are lifting each coach up and putting the pins in. And it's like they're setting a scrambler up for like a fair. Yeah, and they just go put it together real quick and just taking pictures of all old timey oil can, like in the oil this, and it's just like, okay,
that's dude. Do all rides still come with manuals, or do they just like say, "Here's download them"?
No, they all come with manuals. In fact, even the manufacturers, they go away from online digital manuals.
Oh, because they don't want them copied.
When the manual comes out, they're like, here is your paper manual. They'll give you like 5 or 6 copies of it. They're like, here's your paper manual. And you're like, I want this digitally. They're like, that's going to cost you a lot of money to get this digitally. And it's like, if the company wants to pay it, they'll give it to you. But information gets out there really quick, and they absolutely can't have manual for ride A show up to ride B.
Oh,
they can't have that.
Yeah.
Because every single ride's like a custom thing, no matter what. Even cookie cutter rides that are just, I just want a scrambler. It's like, okay, the manual that they give you for your scrambler might not be any relevant whatsoever to the next scrambler that's put out. But they're both still the exact same piece of equipment. It all depends on just the equipment, the pieces that they had to make it with, and everything.
So you're saying a scrambler is like an AMC?
Well, what I'm saying is that when I first started working on rides, I thought everything was the same. When you built like 2 Florist coasters that were built within a year of each other, I thought it would all be the same until I got to talk with a mechanic that worked on another Florist coaster that was built within a year of mine, just to find out they were completely different. All aspects of them, running, operations, everything were completely different.
Yeah. A mechanic said at Winter Chill Out, the Top Thrill Dragsters trains and Millennium Forces trains looked 100% identical. And he said that they are absolutely, completely different beasts to work on. He said, I can't remember which was which, but one was so much easier to work on than the other one. Even though those of us visiting, they looked like exactly the same train.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is kind of weird.
Talking with more mechanics, they just reinforced with duplicate equipment that it's like, nope, they're 100% different. And the manufacturers are like, yeah, we don't build 2 of them the same way. They might look the same from the outside, but the internals, the guts, everything else, completely different.
Interesting.
Sometimes it is just what's available. Sometimes it's we went away from that to this other thing.
We found out Ford transmissions suck, so we're only getting Chevy transmissions now.
There you go. Most all Vekoma roller coasters have Ford motor parts in them. So most all your older roller coasters on the guide wheels, up stop, stuff like that, they use a starred washer that you put the cotter pin through. And right on it, Vekoma lists the FMOCA, Ford Motor Company. They list the FMOCA part number on it. That is out of a rear end of a Ford.
Wait, so you're actually being serious.
He's serious.
Yes.
I thought you were being sarcastic.
Yeah. I did too.
Almost all the old Vekomas use FMOCA washers that lock the nuts basically for the guide wheel adjustments.
That's interesting. So that's old Vekoma's a Ford, is what you're saying.
Pretty much.
That explains a lot.
It does.
Well, we talked about this. I don't know, one of those shows some time ago.
Not all that long ago.
I feel like it wasn't.
Two shows. I think we did 2 shows on 2 separate occasions.
Yeah.
We talked about this one.
Yeah, you're right. I think we did. Yeah. So Dragon at Playland Park in Rye, New York has reopened. And it does have a dragon.
It does.
It's a new fiberglass dragon.
New dragon.
It reopened on May 23rd. So this is a park that I really need to get to. There's quite a few of these little parks that I'm just like, why? It's not that far away. Why have I not gone? This is one of them.
How far away is not far away?
I don't remember. 5 hours?
From your place, probably, yeah.
I want to say about 5 hours.
My son and I were just talking about heading up to Arnold Park maybe during the summer one time. And it's about a 3.5, 4 hour drive for us.
That's a park.
Not that far.
That's the one that just recently got the people sold it, right? We talked about it, I think.
I don't remember what it was in the news for, but I mean, we just recently talked about this.
Yeah,
park.
I think we talked about it. I think it's somebody else took it over. I don't remember anything anymore.
It all blends together, especially all the things because sometimes, news happens here and
yes, that happens. So one of the parks that we were talking about that, there's all those parks that are like, yeah, that's never going to happen. The one that was kind of like people were like, yeah, maybe, was in that category, but more on the realistic side. And then they started building, and now they are actually building their roller coasters. The first roller coaster has gone vertical. And I'm not 100% sure, but I think it looks like a Vekoma family boomerang.
Yeah, I was trying to look at that. I couldn't pick it out.
I feel like it's...
Was that graphic near the bottom of the article, supposed to be it? In which case, yeah, it's exactly what that is. Anyway, did you mention what park we're talking about?
Did I? I don't know.
I don't think
Probably
so.
not.
The Oasis at Lake of Ozarks.
That's the place.
That's it.
I thought all of our listeners had ESP. They knew what I was talking about.
That's it.
This happens, right?
They could guess. They know. How far away is this from Silver Dollar City, I wonder?
I mean, well, it doesn't... I'm not... I like, in my mind, I'm thinking Ozarks. It's got to be right next to each other, right? But I don't know how big the Ozarks are. Like, I know Appalachian Mountains is like the whole East Coast.
I want to say, because my wife wants to go to the Ozarks, and I was thinking, we could hit Silver Dollar City while we're down there, but it was something like the Ozarks were like 3 or 4 hours away from Silver Dollar City.
Wait, I thought Silver Dollar City was in the Ozarks.
It's near Branson, wherever
Branson's what I'm thinking of. But it's like they're close, but they're still far away from each other. I remember when we looked at it one time.
Wait,
she's like,
they're 2 hours apart.
You're telling
2
me
hours. Okay.
that Time Traveler is not built on the Ozark Mountains?
What?
Is it?
Oh.
Right. Confused. Well, but I'm also genuinely confused. Because that was they said like the Time Traveler is about you take a journey through the Ozark Mountains, right?
Well, how big are the Ozark Mountains?
I don't know. This is why I'm confused. And I don't know.
The two rides are okay. Let me look up a map of the Ozark Mountains.
But like that's why I'm like, how are the Ozarks 2 hours away from Silver Dollar City if they're in the Ozarks?
I have lots of questions.
Me too.
Lots of questions.
Well, when you say the Ozarks, like, is there like a pinpoint? Like, this is like...
Oh, the Ozark Mountains covers a lot of area.
That's what I thought. So
yeah, and it spills into Arkansas, and it's a big chunk of Missouri.
Yes. That's why, because I thought, when my wife wanted to go to the Ozarks, I thought for sure is like, Silver Dollar City. They have to be like you're thinking about. They have to be right next to each other. Like that's.
But they are. She wants to go to the Ozarks. Silver Dollar City is in the Ozarks, right?
Opposite ends of the Ozarks.
Right.
But this is why I was confused, because like you were talking like it was a pinpoint, and I'm like, but that's not. I thought I thought mountains were big. That's why I was
like
really
saying,
confused.
It's like saying I want to go to California's Great America and Disneyland on the same day because they're both in California.
Yeah.
Right.
Nope.
You
not
can't
gonna
do
happen.
that? Why can't you do that?
You can. You're just not going to get much of a day at either one of them.
Okay, so Branson, which is the area where Silver Dollar City is a little bit south of the center of the Lake of the Ozarks. And the Lake of the Ozarks, where the Oasis is way up on the northern end of things. And it's just way bigger than I thought it was. And it's not even where the biggest mountains are, according to this map. The highest elevations in the Ozarks are down in Arkansas, not Missouri at all. Huh. Learned something new.
So there, when your wife says she wants to go to the Ozarks, you can have some fun with this.
Well, yes.
Which state?
Which part? Which state? Yeah, it actually goes. It's all that chunk of Missouri. It actually spills over into Illinois as well, and into Oklahoma.
That's big.
Yeah. So, what's the nearest airport for flying in? Because, and are there shuttle flights between the two parks? That's what you do. You tell Mrs. Ryan the ride mechanic that we'll just hire a plane to take us between the two places.
Oh, yeah, sure. Let's just pay for that one real quick. That'll be great.
Fun story.
The other one was.
Did you know when you rent a plane, you only rent for the time that you're flying it? So, like, even if you rent it and you fly it somewhere and then it's parked for like 2 days, you don't pay for that 2 days.
And why do you know this? When was the last time you rented a plane?
Wait, now I'm trying.
What are you doing on the weekends?
Now I'm trying to remember why I know this. Oh, when I moved to West Virginia, I played in a league that a pinball league that somebody there had. He had a pilot's license, so he would fly to like different amusement parks, and we got into a conversation. He's like, oh, I usually, like, when I go fly somewhere, I'll usually drive to Martinsburg, and he like rents a plane that's based out of where I moved to. But that's when I was like talking to him about all of that, and he's like he said, yeah, the interesting thing is like it doesn't, like, I don't really have to pay if I fly to a park and then I want to spend 3 days at that park and then fly back. My payment is no different to the rental agreement as if I stayed 5 days at the park instead, because you're only renting for you only are paying for the time that you're actually in flight, plus your fuel costs. But like while it's parked, you're not actually paying for that, which I thought was interesting.
I wonder if it's parked for all that time, though. I mean, if you're renting it and you know that you're only going to use it on Monday and Friday.
No, it is, because you're just renting. Like you could actually go and hop in that and hop to another airport in that 5 day time frame. Like that's your option. You have complete disposal of that aircraft.
And what about the crew?
Well, he's flying it himself.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Pilot.
I missed that point. Okay, never mind. I was too busy looking up stuff.
Yeah, this is why I'm not doing it, because I can't fly a plane.
Well, that is a major hindrance.
It does get in the way. But yeah, so like he was saying, like it's
that stuff is charged off of flight hours, because that's what all your maintenance is done off of. Too.
Yeah.
However many flight hours it has.
Yeah. But like, yeah, it's interesting how it's so different than a car. Because like a car, like if you drive a mile and you have it for 10 days, you pay for 10 days.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Anyway, what we were talking about. Oh yeah,
Oasis and coasters actually going up.
Yes. If you're gonna fly to visit the Oasis, you're gonna see a roller coaster. More interesting news. Mattel has now announced their 4th amusement park. This time, North Carolina.
Although it's a water park, just to be.
Oh wait, I missed that. Oh
Yeah,
forget this.
It's an indoor water park.
I completely missed that.
It's not even coaster adjacent.
We're not. Forget it. Doesn't matter anymore. How did I miss that? It's in the headline.
I don't know, actually. I thought you knew.
I didn't. I can't read, apparently.
Yeah, so there goes your rant about how are they announcing a new park when they haven't opened the first one?
So, but I didn't even know they had. I don't know anything about water parks. Why are they doing that? Give it to like a different. I don't know. Make it a different name.
Apparently, North Carolina needs another indoor water park, so they're building it.
Well, to be fair, I think we're all going to need more indoor water parks in the future. Especially like the last week here. Oh my God. It's so hot and humid. I can't do it.
I timed that well because in Wisconsin, it was absolutely perfect. It was like mid 70s and no humidity, no rain at all, except one night from 1 a.m. to 2 a.m. when everybody's asleep anyway. It was ideal. And then meanwhile, I know Pam went to something at a coaster related event that was at the Columbus Zoo, and I have pictures from her in, pouring down rain.
Yeah,
great day to do that, Pam.
I had to run my air conditioner like on dry mode to maintain any kind of comfortable humidity. And if I would turn the air conditioner off for 10 minutes, the humidity would spike up to 65% in a matter of like 10 or 15 minutes. And then it would take like an hour and a half to bring it back down to 45. Like everything was just sticky. It was, I hated it. I hate humidity. So yeah, if you live in North Carolina and you're interested in water parks, like we're not.
Have fun. Yeah, have fun.
There's one coming. Why do they have a picture of? They have a pic. Oh wait, that's adventure. Why is there? Look, did you scroll down? There's literally a picture of Adventure Park. That's where I got it from.
Where?
Scroll down. There's roller coasters and stuff.
Scrolling.
Oh, wait.
I still don't see it. Nope.
Oh, you have to click a link first. Sorry. I was looking at other stuff too.
You're really working hard to try and justify having mistaken this.
This is where I got confused because I had a couple different articles open. The other one was about the water parks, but it had a. Never mind. Moving on. I'm over this.
Moving on to something that isn't about coasters, but we put it up here on purpose. Anyway.
Because the park does have a coaster. That's
coasters.
It's coaster adjacent.
This is coaster adjacent.
The Carousel of Progress is going to reimagine the future, finally.
Yeah. Instead of showing us the past.
This is a much needed upgrade. They said that it's going to be basically the same thing, but it's going to be the same family, but it's going to be new decades, and it's going to
include a Walt animatronic.
Oh yes, I literally just read that and I missed that before. So that's That's cool.
Maybe, maybe not. Have you seen the Walt that they put in Disneyland in California instead of the President Lincoln?
No, never been out there.
Yeah, well, you don't have to be. You don't have to go out there to see it. It's on YouTube and all kinds of other places.
What's on YouTube? I don't.
Yes,
I'm not. I'm not on YouTube a lot.
Well, okay, never mind. But I would rather have Mr. Lincoln.
Really?
Yeah. For one thing, for some reason, it's kind of creepy to have Walt up there instead of President Lincoln. I don't know what it is, but it's just like,
Was it the setting or is it the animatronic?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. What have you seen it yet, Ryan?
They got the face wrong. Yeah. Yeah, because they got like the face and the structure wrong. Because
he looks.
It's like one of the things I thought of is like he looks like heavy, almost like he's overweight. The face looks like he's almost overweight, and it's just like it's really heavy and expanded.
Yeah, and he was never that.
It's an odd look. It doesn't. This hits the uncanny valley pretty hard.
So they've got everybody done so well in audio animatronics for decades.
And the one person,
and they come across Walt Disney himself, and they can't do it.
Not that well, and I'm not the only one to think that. I remember when it premiered, a lot of people reacted like I have, where it's like, this is not right. We shouldn't have done this just because we can. Because I think even if they'd gotten it right in terms of his look and whatnot, it still would have been creepy to me. I don't know why it's okay to do the presidents and not Walt, but there's something sort of blasphemous about it.
Okay. I trust
silence. You. and Ryan's holding his hand over his face because he is.
Well, no. I'm thinking to myself about your statement. I'm like, is it because we've seen video of Walt Disney more than we've seen video of most every other president out there?
That's quite possible.
I mean, because realistically,
but haven't
realistically, most presidents out there, if you see a picture of them, they'd probably be like, oh, that's the guy. What's his name that did the thing? You know, the guy. You know, that's about where most of us would land, right?
Yeah,
that's true.
As opposed to like a lot of us that are in this amusement industry, in this realm. Walt Disney, it's like, boink, the videos pop right into your head. It's like, oh, yeah, the black and white videos come in from when he did Disneyland, and I know what he looks like.
Maybe they should have done him in black and white. Today. What if they did him in black and white?
Gone to those? Have either of you gone to a wax museum?
No.
Because it's kind of the same thing there when they have celebrities and stuff that you know who it's supposed to be.
Right.
But it's never close enough for you to go, wow, as opposed to, ooh, this is kind of creepy.
Maybe that is
it. When you got a near miss like that, it becomes creepy. If you don't have it dead on, and even then, it's kind of weird. Those wax museums.
Hit that uncanny valley. That's the thing. I watched a whole 30-minute thing about the uncanny valley and how your brain interprets information and stuff like that. It was really interesting. I was like, I had no idea like what that feeling was, when something was just off.
Yeah, and that's the feeling I get when I see this.
The movie Frozen, when it came out, Disney actually had to reanimate like a ton of it because the characters were very realistic and they were too realistic, but they didn't get it right. Mm-hmm. So they hit the uncanny valley with the characters, and most everybody in the test screenings were like, something's off, and they didn't feel like comfortable with the characters. So Disney had to go back and reanimate the characters until they looked the way they do now, because they were too close, but they weren't perfect.
Yeah.
The
brain interesting. I didn't know that about that movie.
I'm sure neither of you have actually seen it, but I actually, as weird as it sounds, I would actually recommend it. The Chippendales Rescue Rangers movie that came out, like, 10 years ago, maybe? I don't even remember. I don't know if what it's actually called.
Yes, but that means subscribing to the Disney Channel.
Come on, Greg. The water's warm. Why don't you everyone subscribing to the Disney Channel?
It's Chippendale Rescue Rangers. It came out in 2022. It's great. It's really
but
really
you've
funny,
always had this thing for Gadget. It's just. That's all it needs. It's just a gadget for you to enjoy it.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway,
you have to go into how hot Gadget is. Is this what we're doing now? We're like, oh man, Gadget's so hot. Oh.
There's a line in it where he says, he's talking about animation, because the whole plot of the movie is Chip and Dale end up in different animations. So like one's 2D and one's 3D through the movie.
Yeah.
But like they were talking about different animation styles, and they went through, I think they actually went through, it's been so long since I've seen it, but like they were going through different styles, and they ended up in this one, and they just like kind of like looked around like, and then one of them, I don't know who it was, goes, I remember this. This is that real life animation in the early 2000s where everything looks so real but feels so wrong. and as soon as he said that, and that is honestly, like, that's the only thing that I can quote you from the movie. I remember loving it and laughing the whole time, but that line stuck with me so much because, like, the Polar Express. I love the Polar Express, but like, something not right.
Polar Express is a prime example of that uncanny valley, though.
Yes.
It is. It really is.
It really is. Are we going to go back and talk about Gadget now, or are we done with that?
I mean, apparently you really want to, so
maybe it
doesn't matter to me.
Bob is the one that has a thing for gadgets. Sounds more like you do.
I got a thing for rabbits.
Oh,
have you seen Jessica? Oh my gosh, Jessica Rabbit.
I knew where that was going.
That's a movie that I didn't like. I didn't. Well, not that I didn't like it. I don't know. It just didn't. Everybody talks so highly of Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and like I just was like, all right. I don't know. Am I weird for not really?
Did you
liking
just not like the plot, or
I don't know.
What did you not like about it?
I don't know.
Okay.
It's just like it was okay. I don't know. I don't know.
It's not a movie that I got to rush back to watch,
No.
But I am like, okay, the character is the character, but I don't understand why Disney feels the need now to cover up Jessica Rabbit everywhere. It's like, that's the character you built.
Right.
Just go for it. But they're like, no, that's insensitive. We don't want to portray that anymore. This or that. It's like,
yeah, well, that's why we don't have Splash Mountain anymore. That kind of thinking.
This is true.
Like, that movie was a PG-13 movie. Like, it wasn't intended for kids. So, like, why?
No, it wasn't at all.
Like, why would?
No.
I think it was PG-13, I believe, right? It was at least
I would think it had to be at least that.
Yeah. So, like, that's why. If that was something that was geared for kids, okay, I could see
PG.
Maybe adjusting that. But like, why would you feel the need to adjust something that was geared for late teens and adults?
Which I definitely agree. Like I consider that. It actually is. I mean, I did a quick Google search and it came back as PG. But
wow,
people, the response is that
I did the same thing. It's PG because PG-13 didn't exist at the time.
Is that why? Okay, because I was like, that's a PG-13. Like, that has some messy up moments in that video.
This article is saying that if PG-13 had existed, they would have expected that it would have been given that rating.
Wait, I didn't realize that I'm older than PG-13.
Sorry, Bob.
It's kind of weird, isn't it?
Bob, you're older than R.
I don't like this.
No.
What? Wait a minute. When did R come out?
Wait, R?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. I thought that was a serious thing. I was like, what?
I'm just messing around. R's been around as long as I have. I know because we snuck into a lot of them before we were supposed to.
Wait, when was... let's see. It doesn't say. I was hoping it would just say something. Now, what NR-17? I remember when that came out, but I don't. It's weird. I don't remember it for the reasons that like you would think I remember it. I just remember like people around me talking about like that's ridiculous that they would have like the overreaction to it, basically. Like, I remember the overreaction to, like, them adding that rating that's like, they just want to put X-rated stuff into movie theaters, like that, knee-jerk reaction thing. And that's all I remember about it, but I do really remember when it was put into play. But I didn't realize PG-13, man. When did all of these come into play?
PG-13 started in 1984, July 1st. And when did that movie come out?
I didn't realize that movie was that old either.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I knew it was like... So I was like, I had to be 4 or less when that movie came out. Man.
I remember the first R-rated movie that I really wanted to go see, but I couldn't because I was too young, was Terminator 2 Judgment Day. Really wanted to see that, and everyone said it was so good, but I wasn't old enough. My parents would not let me go to an R-rated movie. They're like, nope, not going to do that.
Didn't it used to be just G and R?
That, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know either. This is outside of our purview.
Yeah, it's not coaster adjacent.
This is now a research podcast.
Yes. Oh wait, no, I actually did just from 1970 to 1972. It was G, GP, R, and X. 72 to 84. It was G, PG, R, and X. And then going back, 1968 to 70 was G, M, R, and X.
Okay, so now I have the question of when did Triple X come out?
Triple X was never actually a rating.
Really?
I think, don't quote me on this, but I think I remember reading somewhere that it was basically like a marketing gimmick where they were just like,
I could see that.
Yeah, but it didn't actually exist officially.
I believe that, but now like X is and actually now that I remember it, this is the reason why it was that NC-17, because I was really like reading, like, I don't know, this was like years ago. I got into like super hyper focus mode, and I was really curious about the rating system. And I think the whole Triple X thing was why the MPAA decided to change X from X to NC-17, because there was that confusion. So, like, again, don't quote me on this without double checking it, but if I remember correctly, XXX was never a rating that was used for like straight up porn, where the X rating was actually the rating for movies that were extremely mature. Like an R-rated movie, I think you can, like, you're allowed, as a kid, you're allowed to go in with a parent. But like the X was like, no, you're not, like, you have to be an adult.
Right.
There's no like coming in with a parent or anything like that. So then the problem was whenever the XXX thing started coming up, the MPA was like, this is ridiculous. Like, that's not what this is. And in order to distance from that's when they created the NC-17 rating.
Well, let me tell you, when you Google XXX, to my surprise, it does not come up with the movie Triple X starring Vin Diesel.
Comes up with moonshine.
It was a great movie. Not that I really liked the movie, but the opening scene was the Rammstein doing their song Firefly. That was the most awesome opening to a movie you could have. And it also doesn't come up with the Amsterdam, which is that's on their flags. That's their thing, is XXX on their flags.
I did not know that before I went over there, and I was so confused. I was like, I know the whole red light district thing, but why are they putting it on their flags?
So the colleague I went with when I went to the Netherlands for 2 weeks, she had been there a couple times before, so she gave me a walking tour, and we went all over the city. It was great. She was a tour guide. It was awesome. But that was the thing. I was just kind of sitting there, kind of looking at like, man, they got XXX all over everything. This really must be a thing out here. And then she said, no, fun fact, this is actually the flag. This is what this has nothing to do with anything. And I'm just sitting here. Oh, I'm the American pervert. Oh, okay. All right.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It stands, I forget what it stands for, but I remember talking to somebody while I was over there, and they explained what it stood for. But like it's like 3 different words, I think, but like in a different language. There is an actual meaning behind it though, and it actually stands for something completely different. Completely. Listening to Side Friction Podcast. We release new episodes every Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern.
If you enjoyed the show, please consider leaving us a review on the platform you are listening to.
Visit our website at sidefriction.com to find show notes and other information, as well as links to other locations where you can find us.
Follow us on Mastodon, sidefriction at worldkey.io, or follow me at RagingWolfBob at opencoaster.net.
Check out my channel on YouTube at Ryan the Ride Mechanic.
We hope you'll join us next week and stay on track with Side Friction Podcast.